Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my IELTS class B1. It's Saturday morning here in the UK, and our local time is 7 o'clock. Once again, you're watching this live stream from my home at the moment, as you can see. So, dear viewers, welcome. This class has been designed mostly for the IELTS students, but anyone can join for their problems. And as you might be aware, IELTS is one of the international requirements for your immigration, scholarship, training, studies, and many more opportunities in the English-speaking countries. This is the world's most acceptable English language tests, which is available more than 198 countries and territories around the world. And it takes place every month. Which means that you can sit for the IELTS exam every month. No doubt at all. Who can sit for the exam? Anyone who is 18 years or above can take the exam. And bear in mind that not everyone has to take the exam, because not everyone is interested to go to the English-speaking countries, or no, not everyone needs to go to the English-speaking countries either. So these are the just requirements for those people. Okay. One moment, guys. So today's discussion chapter of the IELTS exam is writing skill. Very often our students are confused about the writing skills, and I have noticed that when I teach one-on-one and group lessons here, the students don't want to develop their writing. Dear candidates, you must bear in mind that in order to get good scores, you have to have good marks in the writing section as well. And obviously, task 1 and task 2 should be completed, and you must fulfill the criteria. And as you know, task 1 is 20 minutes, 150 words, and task 2, 250 words and 40 minutes. And you have to write 150 words minimum, as I said, and 250 words minimum too. Now, fact is that very often they ask that, does the examiner count the word? Yes, the examiner must count the word. And if you do not write what they have asked, then you're not going to get full marks or good marks, because you haven't fulfilled their criteria. You haven't written their required words, which is 150 or 250, whatever. Also, second problem is that many times students do not know whether they have written are correct or not. How about I've got that service for my permanent students or monthly students, as I say. Uh, so those students always contact me through the email or inbox to show or submit their writings or essays or the paragraphs to get it checked. I check them, correct them, suggest them what they should do in order to get good scores. Please be aware that there is no pass or fail mark in the IELTS exam. It is a banding system that indicates your level of English, which should fulfill or meet the criteria of a specific institute or university or country. So it's better for you to know the good concepts about IELTS exam. And someone just messaged me yesterday that, do you offer IELTS test? I said, no, I'm not the IELTS authority. Guys, please have a look about the IELTS authority if you don't have any idea about the IELTS test. And maybe you don't need to sit for IELTS test, as I said. It's not for everyone. So IELTS has at the moment 2 authorities around the world. One of them is British Council and Cambridge University, jointly or collaboratively. Another is IDP Australia. So their quality and standards are same, but only teachers are different, because in IDP Australia, they're recruited by the Australian IELTS authority, and whereas the British Council and Cambridge University's teachers are also recruited and authorized by them. And literally they've got similar value, identical, I should say. It doesn't have that it doesn't matter whatever the IELTS exam do you take, so there is no difference at all. Okay, and I have realized by taking many classes from here that our students need, most of the cases, help in speaking as well as writing. And the problem is that if you can't speak well, that it's very much likely for you that you're not capable of writing an essay topic elaborately. So it's a matter of practice. I always mention in every live stream, practice is the key word or the magic word. Please remember, if you don't practice, there's no way you can develop and grow, because the best American teachers or the British teachers can give you lessons. The best mentor can show you the path and guidelines. But if you don't practice anything, nothing is going to change. And you can't expect to get good marks. It's not like a magic capsule or pill that you swallow it and next day you start speaking English, start writing good English, and you start listening in the better way. No, it's not like that. Okay, it's a matter of practice. This is the magic word, guys. Practice. So what happens when you practice? When you practice, um, look at the spelling, guys. That practice. Remember, practice with CE is the noun. Practice with S in verb in British English. But in American English, both are same. It depends on the application. So you got to be careful which spelling are you following. And that is another important matter for IELTS candidates and being an English learner. That when you write or speak, sometimes you'll not be able to find the differences. But when it's the matter of writing, there is sky and ground difference in the British English spelling and American English spelling. Just follow it, which one is comfortable and suitable for you. My suggestion would be do not mix it up. This is another criteria for a good writer of IELTS exam who wants to get good score. They never mix up the spellings. Remember, spelling is a factor in IELTS exam. If you misspell in writing section, you don't get marks. And if you mix up with the British spelling techniques and American spelling techniques, then it affects your score. You will get mark, but eventually it will affect your score. You won't get standard score. Okay, as I said earlier, that when it's a matter of writing, we must follow the writing criteria. I'll brief you and explain you whenever needed. But if you've got any questions or comments, you're more than welcome to ask me. I know that many people are interested to participate here, even comment here. They can do that. Guys, I'm sorry for that because Hello has the restriction for the non-subscribers that they won't be able to comment or join unless they subscribe to this lesson. So dear viewers, if you're interested, I've shared the link. Okay, click on it and you might be eligible to get 2 free lessons. Or if you want to use the money, more than welcome. Use the code TEAMBLUE. By the way, our these promotions date has been extended to 12th of September. So when you're subscribing to any teacher, use this code. It doesn't matter who the teacher is. It's a Team Blue teacher, Team Red teacher, and without any team teacher, you can subscribe to them. And you will get 30%, 10% plus 20% offer, 30% discount. That's a huge saving, guys. Picture it if you want to subscribe to a teacher for a year and you're saving lots of money. So in a year for 12 months, normal subscription is, let me show you guys. So it's 12 multiplied by 16, which is $192. But if you get 30% discount, so you have to pay only $134, and your subscription is coming every month $11.20 or 20 cents. Sorry, cent is the US dollars unit and pence is the British pounds unit. Sometimes I get mixed up. Sorry about that, guys. So it's $11.20. That is really good saving. But I must also inform you, in the UK and many other English-speaking countries, and I've seen many other amazing tuition centers and coaching centers, that offer English language for the international or non-natives or foreign students, their cost is way expensive. Let me show you one example. In central London, beside my office, our office I should say, there is an English learning center, and they charge minimum for every month a student is around 900 US dollars for 60 hours. So you can see they're charging $15 for every hour. Whereas from the Hallo, you are getting 8 lessons in a month with $16 regular price. But after the discount is 11.20, which is 30% discount. So I'll suggest you take the chance or grab the offer before it is finished. Okay guys, so let's move on. I was discussing last week formal and informal words we must know, because in IELTS exam it is expected that a student will use standard academic and formal words. Okay, so hang on a second, I'm going to get the list for you guys so that you know which are formal words. Okay, and also I'll suggest you, in order to have an assessment or idea how the IELTS exam works, have a sample test or mock test. There are thousands of websites in the internet that offer uh, free classes or lessons or mock test. Sit for it and get to know how an IELTS test takes place. And also, IELTS exam is not just an exam of learning English, it's the exam of understanding the rubrics, bits and bytes, and other related information. Okay, and I also described that in IELTS exam you must have good knowledge about English grammar and study these 3 parts of the grammar only. Number 1, tenses, all the tenses. Number 2, conditional sentences. Number 3, compound or complex sentences. Okay, and I explained last week compound and complex sentences. We will cover this week conditionals. Okay, one moment guys. Okay, so let's move. And hang on a moment, guys. I'm going to get another file to show you something. So, conditional sentences. That's IELTS grammar. So, the first part is tense, conditional, complex compound sentences. We discussed complex and compound sentences last week. Now we're going back reverse conditional sentences. So before we go to elaboration of this topic, we should understand uh, why conditional sentences are needed and which are conditional sentences, and after that how we can use them. It's very important being an English learner that we must have good concept of these terms, because in order to get good marks in writing and speaking, we must use these three things I always explain and emphasize: tenses correctly, conditional sentences correctly, and also use compound and complex sentences in your presentation and both writing and speaking. But unfortunately, I have noticed when I take lessons, one on one, that most of the cases our candidates do not do that. This is one of the barriers for them to get good scores in IELTS exam. They target to get 7 or above, but they don't fulfill the criteria. Dear candidates, IELTS candidates, and all the listeners, bear in mind that it is very important for you that you study hard and study well if you want to get good score. Your good score won't come easily. I've also seen some students who are talented, and many of my students in the last few months, or I should say the whole year, they got very good scores in the IELTS exam. And I'm happy too. They got 8.5 most of the cases, and the lowest was 6. However, the person who got 6 and took a few lessons, and I gave the person feedback that, oh, this is the problem, possibly you may not get above 6. And that's what happened. The person got 6 and bit upset that, yeah, teacher, you told me that I wouldn't get 6, and what's the problem? I explained it to the person, but the person didn't follow the guidelines of what he or she must do. Remember, when I explain something for our learners, it's better to follow them, because we are here as a Hello teacher to help and support you. Okay? So it is important for you to understand this. So let's move on. Conditional sentences. I've got a, hang on a second. I believe that I've got a folder. Let me see if I find it. If I can find it or not. One moment, guys. I'm just looking for. I'm looking for the chapter. Where did it go? One moment, guys. I'm just trying to find out the folder where I've written. Anyway, that's fine. Let's start as a fresh. Okay. So as we go through today, I'll explain bit by bit. So what is conditional sentence? So conditional sentences or tenses are used to speculate about what could happen in the past, what might have happened, or what we wish would happen in the future. So in English, it is also called the possibility or the probability or um, hypothetical situation. And it is always uh, a good idea to express your thoughts because it can affect your writing, your speaking, and situational analysis. So, how do you know that it is a conditional sentence? Rule number one, it should start with if. Okay, look at this, it's written there. The conditional contain the word if. Many conditional forms in English are used in sentences that include verbs in one of the past tenses. Okay, so in simple word, conditional sentences are the physics theory we call cause and effect. Like if this could cause you, what would be the effect? So there should be two, subject to verb conditional and their impact of grammar. Excuse me. So depending on the definitions, there are four types of conditionals, and there is another one, mixed conditional. Zero conditional. Okay, the first one. Then first conditional, second, third, okay, and also mixed. And are they related to really in grammar development in your writing and speaking? Yes, remember that. Uh, especially these are the thoughts of writers and scientists that if I could be there, what could I do? Or if I would write a poem in this way, what could be the end character? Or if I would have discovered a COVID vaccination earlier, we could have saved millions of people around the world. See, these are the conditionals, hypothetical situation, and literally nothing happened like this. Okay, so these are the impacts of learning conditional sentences. Excuse me. So let's start today with the zero conditional, and we'll explain why it is called zero. Okay, and also let me give another little bit basic part of conditional, though I have said earlier. Conditional sentence is based on the word if and there are always two parts, yeah, or two conditions parts. Two conditional. One part beginning with if to describe a possible situation, and the second part which describes the consequence. Depending on the situations, there are 4 types of conditional sentences, and 5 actually, with mixed, that is the combination. Though many grammarians do not say that they don't have to use mix, but so I'll say 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go on the zero conditional. Okay, so let's move on to the zero conditional. So we use the zero conditional to talk about permanent truths, scientific facts, habits, and data. And I forgot to mention data, reality. So when we use the zero conditional sentences, guys, once again, we use zero conditional sentences when we like to talk about permanent truth, such as scientific facts, data, reality, and general habits. And the structure is simple: if, subject, present simple. Actually, something is missing. Then subject, present simple. Okay. So we have to understand first present simple or present indefinite. It is called present indefinite in many Asian and African countries. Present simple or simple present, whatever you say. I'm using capitalization because it's a proper noun. and we must use capital letter in proper noun. Yeah? Okay, and that is the rule. So once again, we use zero conditionals to talk about permanent truths, universal fact. Reality, data, and factual general habits. So once again, JBS, there are 5 types of conditionals: zero, first conditional, zero conditional, second conditional, third conditional, and the latest one is mixed conditional. And basically, a mixed conditional is the combination of using other conditionals and the conditionals together. So if you understand these 4 conditionals clearly and correctly, it will be easier for us to write them correctly. And zero conditional always is related to permanent truths, universal facts such as scientific facts, data, reality, and factual general habits. And the structure is simple: if subject, if plus subject actually, if plus subject, present simple we have to use, and that's after comma you have to use again subject present simple. So what are the facts? Let's see. Here are some examples. If you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. See, generally the science says that when water is boiled to 100 degrees, it starts boiling like boom 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 boom, and you can see the steam because it started boiling. Then another fact: if you eat a lot, especially fat, you put on weight. Okay. And then if it doesn't rain for a long time, the earth gets very dry, and that's the fact. Or you can say that on the other side, if it rains, the earth gets wet. If you go out with our friends, we normally go to a restaurant. So if it rains, the earth gets wet. That's a fact. And look at this factual information or habit. If you go out with our friends, we normally go to a restaurant. Okay, so this is another example. And look at this last example. If I'm tired, I go to bed early. And that is the fact. If I'm tired, I always sleep. That's my habit, guys. And that is the zero conditional. I can write this sentence, right? So do I say I go to sleep? I try to sleep. So look at the sentence patterns, guys, once again, that zero conditional must explain whether it's a universal truth or scientific fact or permanent truth or reality or factual general habits. And this sentence structure is always like this. It doesn't change at all. If plus subject plus present simple, comma, and the second part subject plus present simple. Like if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If you eat a lot, you put on weight. If it doesn't rain for a long time, if it doesn't rain for a long time, the earth gets dry. If it rains, the earth gets wet. If you go out with friends, we normally go to a restaurant. If I'm tired, I go to bed early. If I'm tired, I try to sleep quickly. Okay, these are my habits, guys. And these are all the parts of zero conditionals. Okay, so if you've got any more examples, you can share me. You can share here. Okay, so zero conditional and other conditionals, we can also change the place of the word if. Okay, so how do we change it? And if you use the word if in the middle, we don't have to use comma, remember that. Okay, and that's very important for you to know. We use comma if the sentence starts with if, but we do not use comma if we have to use the word if in the middle of the sentence. And we can also use when zero conditional. Okay, so in the second pattern, let's change it. When, yeah, when. I'll give you more examples, guys, for the second and first patterns. So pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. So these examples are pattern 1. Now pattern 2. In pattern 2, it's easy, just change the if in the middle. Okay. So look at those examples. If you heat water to 100 degree, it boils. So the water boils if you heat it to 100 degree. Like you see, there is no comma because we have used if in the middle of the sentence. Okay, so you can change as other things like the 100 degrees, like the earth gets weight if it rains. I try to sleep weekly if I'm tired. See, we just changed the sentence pattern from the last part. We brought the first part of the sentence and followed the structure. That is pattern 2. How about pattern 3? Yes, pattern 3. Like dogs bark when it gets dark. So this is the fact, guys. Okay, I eat much when I become hungry. I eat much when I become hungry. I eat much when I become hungry. See? Okay, and another thing, look at this, another good example. People pay taxes when they earn more. People pay more taxes, it should be. So pattern 3, dogs bark when it gets dark. I eat much when I become hungry. People pay more taxes when they earn more. Okay, and another fact about me is that I sleep more when I go to bed late. Okay, this is the fact. So guys, these are the examples of zero conditionals. And stay connected with my class and follow me, support me. If you're interested to join once again, click on the link, and still you have got the promotion which is valid up to the 12th of September. Use the code Team Blue to get discount for all of your upcoming classes, subscription, and one-on-one private lessons. Please bear in mind that practice is the key word or magic word. If you do not practice, there is no way you can develop, right? So practice on a regular basis, practice every day. It should be a part of personal to practice them correctly. Okay, guys, and thank you very much once again for joining. By the way, dear viewers, I've got 2 back-to-back class on Saturday and Sunday. So my next class is going to start in less than 2 minutes after finishing this, honestly. And please support all the teachers of Hello. And if you follow me very often, I conduct live streams from different parts of London. Though I'm based in Essex, I conduct live streams from London, Essex, other parts of Essex, Cambridge, Oxford, Birmingham, Manchester, and many other amazing places. All right, so thank you very much once again for joining and being here. And I hope to see you in the future in other classes. As I said, my next class starts in less than a minute. Or there are other classes, other free lessons. Join me. All right. Thank you very much, guys. And if you have learned something from today's lesson, make sure you give a good review about me and practice it. Practice is the key word. Practice can give you motivation, confidence, and also practice can make your progress more. Practice every day, and I'm sure that you can be a good speaker and writer. You'll be a good English communicator. Thank you very much, guys. Hope to see you soon. Take care and bye.